many times, some people wonder what role women have when it comes to agriculture and the industry. And so we're going to talk with Joan here this morning, Joan Ruskamp, and she is part of CommonGround. And this is a really cool group of women that really do show what agriculture is all about. And Joan, you're a woman in agriculture here as well. And some people might, do they ask you, what you do and what you're involved in?
Sometimes, especially when we are out with CommonGround events and we get the chance to engage in conversations. I live in a rural area in northeast Nebraska, so while my full-time job is at our feedlot, a lot of people really don't understand what we are capable of doing.
And so what do you want to get? What message do you get across there? What do a lot of women do when it comes to their farm operations?
Well, we wear many hats, for one. A lot of us are wives, and many of us are also mothers, and so we share those same characteristics with women around the world. But we also care for our farms, for the livestock that we have on our farms. One of my main jobs is caring for cattle in the health care, and so I, in the morning, am walking through pens looking for cattle that might need some additional care. I'm also involved in the treating of those animals and giving vaccinations when they arrive into our feedlot.
And, there's a lot of, some people might think, even farming, ranching, it's not just feeding animals, it's not just putting seed in the ground. There's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of finance and marketing involved too, right? Yes,
sir. There's more and more paperwork, I think, all the time. I did not grow up on a farm. I grew up in Grand Island. I met my husband after I got out of college and began this lifestyle of farming and feeding cattle in the early 80s. And at that time, well, even our computers were fairly new then, and so a lot of it was paper. You kept track of everything on paper, and gradually that evolved into computer programs, which are great because you can find data much quicker. But the EPA and the DEQ and government are continually requiring more and more paperwork from us.
And, some women do run their own operations as well, but you also are part of CommonGround, and you do some advocate work. Explain that.
Sure. Well, we have events, and some of them are grocery stores, some of those are dinners, where we get a chance to engage in conversations with people who don't have the opportunity to live on the farms, to actually raise the livestock that we do. And so I can explain any questions that they have or concerns. Most of the time concerns are about animal welfare, and so we do our best to explain this is exactly how we do it and why we do it. And the biggest thrill for me is when I have a conversation with someone and their eyes just open up with, wow, I guess I didn't understand it the way that it really is. They were reading things or hearing things that weren't necessarily the truth.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Joan. If you do have questions about CommonGround, you can check out our website, nebraska.tv. They're also on Facebook if you ever want to look them up there as well.